DD214 Network podcast is for mature audiences only. Any videos, music, or entertainment not originating from DD214 Network is used and covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, also known as fair use. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any DoD or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. You are no longer alone now because we have you.
How's it going, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to episode 166. We are 500 away from episode 666.
Nice. That'll be a fun one. It'll be a fun one.
Oh, man. How's everybody feeling today?
My math's correct. By the time we hit episode 666, me and John will finally be in our 40s.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Is the math... Is the math
math right now? Like what like 500 weeks from now would be like what, 10 years? It's about 10 years, a little bit less than 10 years. So
yeah, so mid 40s.
Yeah. I'll be in my 50s by then.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
So that will be
walking around with a cane.
So that will be February 12th, 2034.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be I would be 53.
That's 3,500 days.
I'll be a couple months away from my 45th birthday.
So we are 3,500 episodes away from episode 666. Incredible. But yeah, lots of things to talk about. I think we should save the good stuff for just a little bit later.
Sure.
How was your week, guys? Did you do anything fun?
Not really a lot of note. More just regular like during the week stuff, I guess if you want to call it that, and then kind of just a little bit of relaxing, a little bit of stuff around the house, some house chores. Kind of just hanging in, man. Kind of just hanging in. Like don't really have much to report on that front, other than just it's summer. It's summertime, so I'm staying inside as much as possible.
Yeah, it's hot. It is hot.
Yeah,
it's hot.
Get a little spicy out there. A little spicy.
Yeah. Same shit, different week. Work, fucking trying to same as Jay, trying to stay inside as much as fucking possible with how hot it is out. Yesterday we did the wife and the in-laws did a garage sale. I had nothing to sell during said garage sale because everything I've got cost way too much to sell at a garage sale.
Jesus Christ.
So today I've got a whole bunch of fucking old tech shit that I'm posting up on like Facebook Marketplace to try to get rid of.
There you go.
Make some money back, huh? Yeah, watched the new episode of The Boys, the new episode of Acolyte, new episode of Evil.
Are you still enjoying The Boys, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm curious. I've seen a couple different things on the interwebs about this current season, and apparently not all the reviews are glowing. So
I think it's not their best season. It's probably their second best season.
Okay,
but it's like it's very explosive though.
Doesn't sound bad.
I mean, my thing is with the boys, it's one of those. At this point, if you're up to this season, you know what to expect with the show,
right?
And the episodes, because I mean, like it's every season so far has done something that has still yet to cease to amaze me, as far as like the gore and the action and some of the shit that gets pulled off in it.
Right.
I mean, we have a fucking soup that lobotomizes herself so she can be stupid for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right. That sounds very par for the course for the boys.
Yeah, so, then there's some human and octopus interaction and
yeah.
But I gotta ask you, Squillini, and we're gonna get to the good stuff just a little later, but with everything that happened yesterday and that last episode, isn't it kind of weird?
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah.
They were just talking about how a specific character they couldn't figure out who it was or whatever, and they were gonna assassinate the president. Like that was a major plot point of that latest episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, and then like they played a Crazy Town song, and the Shifty Shell Shock just died recently, so that was another that was like whoa.
Yeah, and then we've had a couple of right on, Jammin'. That's pretty badass, dude. Good shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Keep up on that. Share resources with your communities, man. Freaking volunteer your time. That's good shit, Jammin'. Awesome. We lost a couple of celebrities this week.
Yes, we did. It started off with Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
You know,
and go ahead.
You know, it's so interesting to know that she lasted this long on this earth, knowing the pain that she was going through, you know. And there was a video, I can't remember who the content creator was, but he was like a horror buff, and he would visit like horror locations. And in one of his episodes, he actually had the chance to meet Shelley Duvall, who unfortunately didn't look like she was living in the best conditions, but you know, she got to speak about her experiences, and she was really honest about like some stuff about it. If I could find that video, I will make sure to link it over to you guys. But that maybe was like 2 years ago, maybe a year, 2 years ago.
Right.
But you know, real shame, you know, olive oil, you know?
Yeah, she was olive oil. She was. Olive oil and Wendy Torrance, man.
Yeah, I mean, and then right after that, we lost
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth. So I'm not. I had to ask my wife about. I was not actually not very familiar with Dr. Ruth at all. I don't know.
She's a very well known like sex therapist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what my wife was telling me.
And she had like a late night TV show.
Mm-hmm. Radio for years, like TV shows. She was a guest on like the Tonight Show about 1 billion times, I think.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, she made the rounds back in the day for sure.
Yeah, and then who did we lose right after that?
Richard Simmons.
Richard fucking Simmons.
That shit, I ain't gonna lie, dude. That one kind of fucking depressed me. Like when the happy people fucking pass on, you know, it's like I will never be even a percentage of how goddamn like bright and happy and like jovial that man is or was his entire life. And it's like that one kind of hurt my heart because
it's very sad too. It's super sad too because like you know that Pauly Shore was trying to make the movie about him. Who are you talking about, Jammin'?
If I'm correct, Dr. Ruth was
she really?
Oh, was she was a Holocaust survivor?
I'm looking it up right now.
I think she was. I think you're right.
Yeah, was born in Germany to a Jewish family.
Yep.
Oh, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I honestly had no idea. I had no idea about that.
As the Nazis came to power, her parents sent her to a school in Switzerland for safety while they remained behind because of her elderly grandmother.
Oh,
both her parents were killed in concentration camps. Yep.
Damn, that really puts a lump in your throat right there, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we lost Richard. He was in the news. My uncle had Richard Simmons, his radio show with Mayor Koch. That's awesome, and it's so because Pauly Shore really wanted. He made that beautiful short. I don't know if you got to watch it. That Pauly Shore made. It was really good, and man, rest in peace. And then this morning, we woke up to Shannon Doherty.
Miss Doherty, yeah. Shannon Doherty passed away.
Wait, I hadn't even seen that yet, but
oh yeah,
that's breaking. Yep.
53, and she had some cancer, and that unfortunately that's she passed away like last night. So it's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. I mean, it's been an unfortunate week for some.
Yeah.
Our thoughts and prayers go to the families of those. It's man, and it's not like these are kind of legends in the game, right?
So yeah. And they made some pretty big marks. They made some pretty big marks throughout their own personal histories, in order to be so well known by and beloved by so many, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like it was. Well, and anytime you lose a couple, 2 or 3 celebrities like within X amount of time, anyways, it gets a little spooky, right?
Gets a little dicey. Yep.
Yeah, but this last week, we kind of like been one right after the other, basically.
Yeah, yes. So I'll brighten it up real quick. This week was my son's 12th birthday, and
oh yeah, dude, 12th birthday, huh?
It's kind of surreal. A year away from teenage years.
Being a teenager. Yep. I'm in the same boat. Same boat.
Yeah, Jam, and we're gonna get to that soon. We're kind of hanging on to that to let more people come in and stuff like that, so that we can have a full on conversation about it.
Yeah, we'll have a little conversation about it for sure.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say right now, if anyone says any kind of hate speech, I'm gonna ban you today.
We don't do that here. So
yeah. I'm just gonna say that right now. I will repeat that a couple of times when we get to the story. But yeah, went to a water park this week for his birthday. Holy shit, do I fucking love water? Okay, there's just
like you guys are having fun. I saw some of the pictures you sent, the video, and looks like you guys are having fun.
Did you see the video of the slow motion video of my son?
Yeah, I saw that you posted on your Facebook.
That camera is fucking amazing. I'm just fucking saying. But and you know what? I can't get it out of my head. Worlds of fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I just want to go there so fucking bad because
there's a water park next door, right? Called Oceans of Fun.
That's the one. That's what I meant to say. Oceans of Fun.
Oceans of Fun. Yeah.
I'm a water park fanatic, man. I fucking love water parks. And I'm not gonna lie. There was some questionable stuff going on with the slides, so I didn't really do the slides. Some weebly wobbly. My kid did the lazy river half the time, which how can you not like the lazy river? It's the best part of the water park, I do enjoy slides, but something in my intuition was telling me to be a chicken shit that day. But I did, the rope swing, and then there was a hot tub. I was in the hot tub. Holy shit, 30th. That's a big number right there, Jam, and happy birthday to him. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And I got nothing to say about nothing to watch. I didn't watch no TV this week. I watched the boys like Squillini did. Fucking awesome. Great episode, by the way. Last episode's next week, I think.
So mid-season. Or I can't even say mid-season because what they did was they're splitting it into 3 parts for the final season.
Are they really?
Is this the final season, or is there going to be one more?
Or for this season? Because I think there's one more after
this. Yeah, season 5. Good morning from the dungeon.
Welcome.
Yeah, there's one more after this. You said it's gonna be a 3-parter?
That's what I heard.
No shit. So they should put it in the movie. They should just put in 3 movies. Probably take longer, right? I would assume it would probably take longer.
I'm trying to see where I can find that because I remembered seeing something about it. I'll look it up. We'll find it while we're talking about that shit.
Yeah. So what's he saying over here? They already got all of them done, dude. They're just trying to make some money. What? The whole thing's done? There's no way the boys already started filming season 5. This isn't The Chosen. There's no way. There's no way. But oh, you know what? I gotta laugh about something. So I did finish The Mole, and there's a guy that looks like you, Squillini, except he has red hair.
That would be scary. Squillini with red hair.
Yeah, you want to see him?
Yeah, I do. Actually,
no,
I do. Don't listen to Joe.
I don't want to see this soul sucking.
Yeah,
I think you could. I don't know. Just don't risk it. Look.
Yeah, a little bit.
Look, it's Redhead Squillini.
Hold on.
If Squillini was like an attention-seeking whore with red hair, right?
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
He totally looks a lot more liberal than I am.
It's the understatement,
that's
understatement of the century.
That's the word we're going to use. Okay, that's the word we're going to use, Squillini. Okay,
Slightly
don't go any further than that. All right,
Slightly more passive, just a little bit more passive.
Yeah. So all right. So let's talk about it. Let's get to the nitty gritty. History was made yesterday.
Holy shit!
In Pennsylvania.
Goddamn,
Jay, you want to break it down? It is absolutely insane that we are living in a timeline while we're living and breathing where a former American president who is currently running for office.
Mm-hmm. Somebody tried to shoot him yesterday.
Someone tried to assassinate him.
That's no fucking bueno. We don't like political violence has no place in our country at all.
It does not.
But holy crap, he survived. Like, and I mean by a whisker, like that. Have you seen that picture of you can see the streak of the bullet like flying past him, like that. Holy shit!
Yeah, I was trying.
That photo was snapping a picture at the fucking right time.
Yeah, like I'm trying to put it up, but fucking Melon is not allowing me to upload the photo right now.
Interesting.
Challenge accepted.
Squillini's like, gotcha, bitch. Like, but yeah, like the audacity, dude, and then the audacity of somebody attempting to assassinate a former president in any, like, just holy crap, dude. Holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't even know what to say about it other than freaking, like,
I saw that.
I don't even know what to say about a lot of it other than like this kind of shit is like not how we do things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this is not how we fucking do things. And man, it barely missed him. Like barely. Like it nicked him. He got hit.
And this is what's interesting to me, right?
Oh, dude.
This is what's interesting to me. So he's looking this way, right?
Yeah.
Then he turns his head.
Yeah.
And then boink.
And then as soon, if his face was probably turned towards the front, he probably would have been a goner. Yeah, you see?
Yeah. That's kind of that. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like he turned his head at just the right moment, and probably that turning of his head was probably what saved his life. And thank goodness, because the lady got hit with that bullet, like, and she passed away. Unfortunately, she passed away, unfortunately. and then obviously the shooter was taken down. But good God, dude, like what a epic shit show.
Yeah, so I'd really like to talk about this for a while, if you don't mind, because this is huge. You know, this is living history.
We normally try to stay apolitical on this show. We don't get into politics too much, obviously, for reasons. This is one that's kind of hard to ignore. So
I wouldn't say this is really us getting into politics, talking about this. This is us talking about a current world event that
this
just
is societal.
happened.
It's societal.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it is a big deal, and it needs to be discussed because shit like this has no place in a polite society. I don't care who you vote for or what you worship or any of that stuff. This kind of stuff has no place in a polite society.
Yeah,
and that's really that does need to be discussed. Like, fuck the guy taking shots at Trump, dude. Like, fuck that asshole. Whoever the fuck he is.
Yeah,
like,
and then here's another thing too.
they've already identified who the shooter was.
Yeah, they released all that information today.
And, and there's records of he was like a 20-year-old, so this would have technically been his first time being able to vote.
So
he's a fucking kid.
He's a 20-year-old from Pittsburgh named Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. That's who he is.
And they released some bank records showing like groups he donated to, and
he was and one thing that's very interesting about this is that he was a registered Republican.
Huh.
Well, so this is where I'm going to go on to this.
Yeah,
because he definitely sounds very 20 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
here's the thing: in a lot of states, to vote in the primaries, you have to be registered Republican or Democrat to be able to vote in the primaries.
Correct.
When the main election happens, no matter what you're registered as, you don't have to vote your party. Primaries, you do. A lot of people will register in the opposite party of what they actually are. So during the primaries, if there's somebody up running that they don't want, they'll vote for the other person in that party to try to block them from actually making it on the ballot.
Well, he's fucking dead now. So we won't have to worry about him voting ever again.
Yeah.
Like,
so one thing I do want to talk about is his. Now, look, some people I've seen people, and look, everyone has their own opinion. I've seen some people say, "Oh yeah, the shooter missed." Yeah, no shit, he missed because obviously his intent was to kill him. People making like very interesting comments about it, but this is not about a political thing. This is about a presidential candidate, no matter what party, being targeted. Surviving an attempted assassination, and
it's a big fucking deal. And I have to say, as much as I might not be a big fan of Donald Trump, when he stood up and like shook his fist at the crowd and told him to fight, like that shit goes hard, bro. Like I can respect some shit like that, like damn near getting your freaking noodle knocked, you know, and your melon fucking cracked open.
Yeah,
basically standing up and saying fuck you. Like I can dig that shit, dude. That shit went hard. I don't care who you are. Freaking that shit went fucking hard. Fucking props to the former president on that one.
I was
like
right here because I was just about to go into his whole fucking afterwards. Like the Secret Service is still trying to hold his ass down, and he jumps.
He's like fucking shouting at the crowd, telling him to fight. That's like fucking A, Donald, fucking A, Donald. Like I'm telling you, man, our former president, he has like I've never seen a person that has like the luck of the devil like he does. You talk about being like lucky son of a bitch, dude. But God, I'm glad that he's okay. I'm very, very glad that he's okay. I'm very sorry for the families of the one victim, and then the family and loved ones of the shooter. Unfortunately, have to freaking like deal with all that. I'll tell you what, dude. Like, we definitely live in interesting times. But I'm glad he is still alive, so that when our nation goes to the polls in November, we'll have a fucking election. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so what? Now, response time. What are your thoughts on the response time of all this? Because there are reports coming out.
A massive security breach. There's a massive security breach. There's like
so
that shit.
roof the shooter was on should have already been covered. He should have never been able to get up there and do that.
Yep, that was
right.
Bad look.
Any
really
other circumstances in every other political campaign during rallies where a president or an ex-president's there, that roof would have already been fucking covered.
Yep.
Not only covered, they would have had the Secret Service typically would have had a sniper on that fucking roof because of the perfect line of sight to the podium where President Trump was speaking.
So yeah, that's somebody going to lose some jobs over this one. Like that was a extremely poor showing from a lot of the different security services.
Yeah,
whether it's Secret Service, local PD, whoever the fuck else was there, dude. Like that. Yeah, that should not even that should have been squashed fucking way the fuck before any of the bad shit happened. Like Donald Trump almost got fucking killed, dude. Like. Yeah. Can you imagine the absolute? It's already a shit show right now just because this happened. Can you imagine?
Today's show could have been a way different conversation.
Holy fucking shit! The shit show, bro. If he had gotten dome pieced, like what a fucking shit show that would have started. And like, oh my god.
There's things, it's one of those things. Like I'm one of those people. I look at it as not this specific situation, but like just. When it comes to all the presidents that I've had in my lifetime, that I've legally was old enough to vote for, because I think I turned 18 during Obama's first election.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that. Every president we've had since I've become a legal adult by, age standards, every one of them has done things, said things, and shit that I haven't agreed with. But these people out here doing this dumb shit, like going to a fucking rally and shooting at a fucking president.
Right.
If we go back to the fucking January 6th fucking takeover in DC.
Which the boys spoke about too.
Yeah.
It's like all that shit was just I get it. You don't like something that happened. Get the fuck over it.
Yeah. This is and that goes back to our statement earlier about this kind of shit has no business in a polite society. Like it doesn't matter who we vote for, what we worship. You know what I mean? If we worship anything at all, like
this shows has gotten too much.
It's our this is our fucking society, and the world is watching us. The world looks to us as as a beacon and like an example. So like this type of shit is just getting like, it's stupid. It's like violence for the sake of violence. And if I wanted to do that, I would have just stayed in the fucking infantry, right? Like I didn't get out of the fucking army to come back and like turn fucking our country and our land into like some of the shitholes I've been to, right? Like that's the idea was to come back and join polite society and become a goddamn civilian again, and like learn how to heal from our metaphorical wounds, right? So like you can't do that when everybody's like running around fucking going batshit fucking around you, right? Like so yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Again, like we said before we even started this conversation, we try to stay away from politics and talking about politics.
This is one of the reasons
about this from a societal standpoint, not a political standpoint.
Yep.
Yeah. And because now this
we can't talk about that shit.
Because people get antsy, and then like just like what he says here, another guy I know yesterday he should learn how to keep his mouth shut. What the fuck is that? Well, maybe he should learn something called free speech. That still exists. But I do have a list here of presidents that were assassinated and ones that were targeted here. And obviously
pretty much fucking every one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say like just about
not necessarily. This is a very specific list. I mean, the first one here is obviously our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, who was killed by John Wilkes Booth. He was shot in the theater, and then they found Wilkes Booth in a theater or something. They found him in a library or some shit like that. I don't remember. In a bar.
He got tracked down. He had a fucking broken ankle.
The next one was our 20th president, James Garfield. He was the second president to be assassinated 6 months after taking office.
Yep. And then he was killed more by I think the hygiene of the doctors that were working on him than necessarily the bullet. It's interesting here too, because another fact here is that Alexander Graham Bell, the telephone inventor, tried unsuccessfully to find the dodged bullet in Garfield's chest during using a device he designed specifically for the president. And the mortally wounded president lay at the White House for several weeks, but died in September after he was taken to the Jersey Shore. He held office for 6 months. The next one was William McKinley. That was the early 1900s, right?
Yeah, he was shot. He was shot, and then he was shot September 16th, and then died a few days later on the 14th, after opening his second term.
Damn. And then, of course, JFK.
Yep. Well, we're not there yet. So this one, it says here, Franklin Roosevelt, the 32nd president, at the time the president-elect had just given a speech in Miami from the back of an open car when gunshots rang out. He was not injured in the February 1933 shooting that killed Chicago Mayor Anton Cermak.
Teddy Roosevelt got shot in the chest and still gave a speech. Pretty famous.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Then there was Truman, who was they broke in. It was an assassination attempt, and now we're up to Mr. John F. Kennedy. You know, we know this story. Gerald Ford, he faced 2 assassination attempts. In the first attempt, he was on his way to a meeting with the governor of California when Charles Manson disciple Lynette Squeaky Fromm pushed through a crowd on the street, drew a semi-automatic pistol, and pointed it at Ford, but the gun was not fired. And then 17 days later, another woman, Sarah Jane Moore, confronted Ford outside the hotel, and she fired 1 shot and missed. A bystander grabbed her arm as a second shot was attempted. The next one, Ronald Reagan. He was leaving. He was leaving his speech in Washington, D.C., walking to his motorcade when he was shot by John Hinckley Jr., who was in the crowd.
Yeah, that crazy motherfucker.
Yep. Another attempt was George W. Bush in 2005 with Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili when a hand grenade was thrown toward him. Both men were behind a bulletproof barrier when the grenade wrapped in cloth landed about 100 feet away, but the grenade did not explode and no one was hurt. And then, like the one you were just talking about, Theodore Roosevelt, he was shot in Milwaukee while campaigning up to the return to the White House. Yeah.
And then now we've got our former president Donald Trump added to the list because he got shot while giving a speech yesterday at a rally in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So holy crap! We live in interesting times.
Another footnote to add into season 4 of America. So, I mean, the season's getting wilder. I can't wait to see the new cast changes next season.
I'm just making sure that no matter what happens, like I'm keeping my dick out for Harambe. You know what I mean?
Always for Harambe. What's going on, Cardenas?
What's up, man? Cardenas. What's up,
Cardenas, the man, himself.
My dude.
So what we got the crowd here, I want to kind of make a special announcement. Am I allowed to talk about what we spoke about the other day?
I don't see why not. It's not I don't see why not. Right.
So we had a very nice, interesting discussion, just trying to figure out how we can incorporate more guests onto the show. And one thing that we and obviously you guys know this, that when we have guests, we love, even without guests, we love to talk, but we also want to give them a chance to be able to speak to give them some of their time. So we decided, oh shit.
Oh, fucking A. Too easy. Too easy. You let me know. You know where I'm at. You know where I'm at.
So we have all agreed to start working on a new show for DD214 Network. Kind of want to bring back like the After Dark shows and kind of put them into a more interview format, a pre-recorded interview format for you, so that we can have guests and then actually kind of promote it on the live show and stuff like that, because we only use so much time on Sundays for many reasons, and we also want to be able to speak to other veterans as well.
Absolutely.
You know, so that this is a new thing that's coming. We don't know when the first one's going to happen. I am actively reaching out to a couple people. I'm actually going to reach out to the Stone Vet crew. Jay Boxwell is another one I'm going to contact. You know, and then I mean, we can have Cardenas on the show. We can have Brandon Wayne or Squillini. If you have anybody, you know, bring them on.
Another round with Bodette and Ronnie J.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I was thinking, you know, I was yesterday. I was kind of thinking, you know, we kind of start back with doing like follow-ups with people with the crew we've had before, and then, you know, like do a follow-up episode with somebody, then throw in a new person in between.
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Shit, we got our
plenty of people. We got plenty of people we can cull from.
Yeah, like, and that's the beautiful thing about being a veteran, right? Veterans are interesting. You know, there is a veteran that has done something really fucking badass and really something cool, and then obviously has a crazy story. So those are stories that we want to, you know, get in there. Jam and Jet. I mean, dude, you've told us your story working in Panama. We'd love to talk to you about that. You know,
dude, the Cold Warriors were no joke, dude. Like if you were in the military in the 1980s, like late 70s and going into the 1980s, dude, like it was no bullshit. Like that was about as close to a fighting war as you can get without being in a fighting war. So like shit went down like regularly in those days. That was not a time to be a pussy at all. Like they did not play. Nobody was playing in the 80s. Nobody was playing in the 80s.
That's right. So we're gonna cut into some news right now. And I got some really good topics. I got some hot topics. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna get this one out the way. Prince Harry has been given the Pat Tillman Award. I don't know if you guys heard about this. But during the ceremony, Prince Harry addressed Pat Tillman's mom while accepting the Pat Tillman Award for service at the ESPYs on July 11th. So his statement, as he remembered his own mother, Princess Diana, he said, "I'd like to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to everyone at the Pat Tillman Foundation. I'd also like to acknowledge the Tillman family, especially Mrs. Mary Tillman, Pat's mother. Her advocacy for Pat's legacy is deeply personal and one that I respect. The bond between the mother and son is eternal and transcends even the greatest losses." He also thanked the widow who started the foundation for the honor. He then went on to talk about the Invictus Games, and he revealed the Miami Herald actually reported that Prince Harry would be among those honored in the ESPYs, but as a result, Pat Tillman's mom, Mary Tillman, spoke out. She was not there. She did not show up, and she says, "I am shocked as to why they would select such a controversial and divisive individual to receive the award. There are recipients that are far more fitting. There are individuals working in the veteran community that are doing tremendous things to assist veterans, and these individuals do not have the money, resources, connections, or privilege that Prince Harry has. I feel that those types of individuals should be recognized."
Interesting.
Yeah. So, however, her pushback, the Tillman Foundation and ESPN stood by the decision to honor Harry, and ESPN, with the support of the Tillman Foundation, is honoring Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, specifically for the work of the Invictus Games Foundations as it celebrates the 10th year promoting healing through the power of sport for military service members and veterans around the world. While we understand not everyone will agree with all honorees selected for any award, the Invictus Game Foundation does incredible work, and ESPN believes this is a cause worth celebrating. And we all know Prince Harry is a British Army veteran. He did 2 tours. He's even in that famous video where he's doing the interview and the gunshots start ringing out, and he gets right up and right into action. It's we are not taking away anything that this man has done, because he is a hero in his own right.
He's a vet.
I believe that ESPN is right in choosing him, but I'm also not taking it away from what Mary Tillman was saying, as she is correct. There are other veteran resources, like people like our friend Doc Shupp, who works with the New Jersey Veterans Network, who are constantly helping veterans tirelessly every single hour of the day. And that's not to say that Harry's not doing that with his foundation, but it would be nice to see some smaller foundations get recognized for their work in the veteran space.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's everybody needs an advocate sometimes, and there are people that advocate for us, and then those people should always be recognized, like one way or the other. Like they should be recognized for their advocacy. So it's about all I got on that one.
Word. The next thing we have, a bill would expand military death benefits for families of ROTC cadets.
Huh.
Jessica Swan, the mother, said, "It's just been an absolute nightmare. There's no aspect of our lives that are the same. Parents of young officers in training and incoming recruits who died in connection with military activities want Congress to approve death benefits that others in the armed forces already receive."
So here's where I can see what they're going at with that.
Yeah.
It's if they're not if they just die on the campus or, in regular day-to-day. ROTC cadets in college, they do have to go to basic training. They do go to an AIT school. They do, a lot of them are in the reserves, the Army Reserves or the National Guard, while they're finishing up their degree and serving with a unit and doing drill weekends and stuff like that. And yeah, if they die during that time frame or during those training activities and stuff like that, they're actively serving in an active Army unit, or military unit. So yeah, they should receive the life insurance and death benefits that, Joe Blow private over there that just got done with basic and AIT that's not going to college gets.
Agreed. I actually that was actually very well put.
Yeah, if shit happens when you're wearing the uniform, like, you should receive some kind of compensation for it. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, that's basically that's what you're signing up for. In essence, that's what you're signing up for. And unfortunately, training accidents do occur, and sometimes people do go down in the field, and it's tragic, but they should be compensated. Like they gave their life. They gave their life, like, to the country, basically. So
yeah, and even in the process of, even Jessica Swan, the mother of Mackenzie Wilson, 19, who died in a vehicle accident during Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps. Because things like that do happen. Corps, I'm sorry.
Corps.
I love you.
No, I love you too, man.
Corpse has an E at the end of it. Corps ends with an S.
I fucking got it. Yeah, but this is something that Squillini, you said that really fucking good, man. Holy shit.
Well, okay. So I said that from experience.
Okay.
I've talked about my career on here.
Yes, you have.
It was a very short period, a total of 3 months, where I made the dumbass mistake of switching from active duty to reserve, and quickly made the smart move to go back active duty because fuck that bullshit. And in that 3 months, and when I say 3 months, technically 3 weekends, the reserve unit I got attached to had 3 or 4 ROTC cadets from the different colleges in the area attached to them.
Okay, fuck yeah.
So, I've seen it firsthand during my time in, and, having ROTC cadets. And the thing is, a lot of those so 1 out of the 3, he was green to gold. So he enlisted, made it to E6, and then decided he wanted to go and commission in and started going to college, joined up into ROTC, and he was attached to the unit before he went in, and then he stayed attached to the unit after.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
the other two were just pure, they went to college, got into ROTC, and
Yeah. That's interesting. And that was a very interesting perspective. The next thing I have, a U.S. sailor attempted to access President Joe Biden's medical records on the military electronics health record database and was disciplined for the infraction. Yeah, the sailor who has he has not been identified. He searched the name Joseph Biden in the military health system Genesis, the Armed Service health record database, and a co-worker reported it as a violation of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, otherwise known as HIPAA.
Yep.
Presidential health care is provided by the military's White House Medical Unit, and presidents receive treatment at Walter Reed National Medical Center in Maryland. So don't look up people's medical records. Anybody. Don't do that shit.
Respect people's fucking privacy, personal space. Okay, like just because they're presidents doesn't mean we just go willy nilly and just. What is it? What in the world is wrong with everybody, John? You know what I mean? They're just getting really silly about it.
So real quick, I do want to backtrack a little bit. We talked about the whole Trump thing. Let's jump on to Biden for a second here, and something that happened this week during a speech he was giving. And the day he was giving this speech just happened to be a day that Vice President Harris was in North Carolina at a high school here in my town.
No shit.
And during this speech, he referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump.
That's right. And didn't he call Zelensky President Putin?
Yeah, he accidentally called Zelensky Putin. Like, this is what we get when we hire like 80-year-olds to be our president.
This is what we get when we kill Harambe.
You want to know something? I was actually watching.
Thank you.
I was watching like this. I was watching a video from a doctor talking about like Biden, and he was saying, he goes, this isn't cognitive decline. This is just natural age development. He's just getting old. Yeah. That's it. He's not.
I'm 43, but I notice things within myself or within like my brain functions where I'm like that are noticeably different than they were when I was a kid or younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like I'm not getting like bad yet, but I can feel it coming. You know what I mean?
It's coming soon.
Oh yeah. And like I imagine by the time I get about twice my age right now than I am right now, by the time you hit 80, you're probably starting to slide a little bit downhill. You know what I mean? So
I told no patience, just as important. Oh shit, he says you're young, Jay.
Yeah, 43 years young. Yep.
Oh man, so the next one is this one's actually unfortunate. A Fort Campbell soldier has been found dead in her home, who has died of 70 stab wounds, according to an autopsy report.
The fuck?
No arrest had been made in the death of 23-year-old Private First Class Katia Duenas Aguilar, whose body was found in her Tennessee home in May near the Army post. Again, no arrests have been made. The autopsy report from Montgomery County Medical Examiner's Office said that Duenas Aguilar suffered 68 stab wounds to her neck and upper body.
Jesus Christ.
And it's been ruled a homicide as a result of sharp force injuries. So a little bit about Aguilar. She was of Mesquite, Texas, enlisted in the Army in 2018, and a year later came to Fort Campbell on the Tennessee-Kentucky border. She was a member of the 101st Combat Aviation Brigade, 101st Airborne Division. Her family and the League of United Latin American Citizens had offered a reward of $55,000 for any information leading to an arrest and conviction. Clarksville police and Army criminal investigators are working together on the investigation.
That turns my stomach inside out.
Yeah.
Like that shit. That ain't cool. Like, that's just fucking scary, right?
Yeah.
Like, I hope they find whoever did it. Freaking, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want creatine in your MREs?
I don't know. That's kind of an interesting question.
Yeah, so a provision included in the House version of the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act is calling for the addition of a popular muscle-building supplement to the military tradition meal, ready-to-eat rations. The House Armed Services Committee called for the Pentagon to add creatine to MREs in a committee report accompanied to the NDAA, sweeping legislation that Congress must pass annually to determine defense spending. A broad body of clinical research has shown that creatine can enhance muscle growth, physical performance, strength training, post-exercise recovery, and injury prevention.
That's kind of where I was like, I could see it maybe like a week into a fucking FTX.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe like you don't need that shit like every day, like, but maybe like once a week. You know what I mean? To like recover a little bit. Like, it's like you go on those like 2-3 week long exercises, you know, you start to get crusty pretty quick. You know what I mean? And you can use usually after the first week, you can kind of use like a recharge, like a reset. You know what I mean? Because it gets nasty out there in the field. It gets nasty. So,
I mean, when I was in, I would take Ziploc bags and just put my 1 scoop or 2 scoop of my pre-workout in a fucking Ziploc bag and throw it in my fucking ruck.
I've seen plenty of people do that too.
And then, you know, I'd have my blender bottle in my bag too. And then just when it was time, I'd take some water from my canteen, drop that down in the morning to.
I had a battery powered blender cup.
I guess it would really just depend on if you want to use creatine as a supplement. You know what I mean? Like
I've never been a big fan of creatine.
I wasn't. I've used it in the past.
I like the vanilla one.
It's been so long since I've used supplements at all. It's been 15 years probably since I've used supplements like at all. Like I don't usually use supplements whatsoever. So it's been a long time.
The only thing I use now before I go to the gym is pre-workout, and that's just to give me that energy boost.
Fucking Cardenas, dude, you son of a bitch, dude. That's hilarious. Fucking A. Perfect timing. Essayons. That's fucking hilarious.
Shit, I've done a fucking dry scoop of pre-workout on this fucking podcast before.
Yes, you did.
You have. Yes, you have.
It did not look friendly either.
Oh,
actually, and you took that because I practically had a heart attack from drinking a fucking G Fuel. Army grants.
I think I had a can G Fuel when I did a dry scoop of the fucking pre-workout and then drank a can of G Fuel.
I don't know how your heart hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah.
Because when it's my time, it's my time. Fuck it.
Shit. The next one. Army grants 271 recruits a second chance through a medical waiver. A pilot program initiated in April that gives Army doctors at military and processing facilities broad authority to grant waivers for low-risk medical conditions has gone so well that the service may make it permanent. And the one-star general heading the Army's medical process and augmentation team. Additionally, she told the Army Times that the service has also offered a second chance to hundreds of would-be recruits who were previously denied waivers. Brigadier General Catherine Simonson, who is also a registered nurse and Deputy Commanding General for the medical arm of the U.S. Army Recruiting Command, spoke candidly at a late June meeting at the Defense Advisory Committee on Women and on the Services about how military's new electronic health record had extended the recruit processing timeline and increased the workload for staff without meaningfully increasing the number of medical disqualifications. What do you guys think about this? I think this is big. This is big.
Well, anytime when there's a need, some of these standards will change, and this gives people, like you said, previously disqualified, but maybe they can come back for round 2 and get a waiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, considering that we're an all volunteer force, it's kind of hard. Like sometimes you do have to take what you can get because these are people that are actually signing up willingly to do or to go into whatever, branch of service, whatever the Army. You know what I mean? Like they're willing, they're volunteering. So if they want in that bad, it might be worth taking a second look. Even if they get disqualified like the first time, it might be worth taking a second look. Sometimes.
I never saw an issue. I mean, I understand some things, right? I understand some things, maybe breathing issues or something with your feet. But I just think that this is such a great opportunity for people who are just so passionate about wanting to join and having that chance to actually do it. Cardenas, it's a win. Those who want to serve will push through and persevere until accepted. And that's the thing. I know plenty of people, even people who are in our DD214 network Facebook group who didn't serve, and they're just huge supporters. And it's just like, I wish I could do this.
That's like my neighbor that we hang out with a lot and do cookouts and fucking game nights and shit like that. He tried to go in and got turned away because he has psoriasis. That's not a life-threatening medical condition. That's, dry, itchy, patchy skin. Like, people like that could get in finally, and I don't see that being an issue.
Yeah, this is interesting too, because like Jam and Jet says, recruiters will make goals could be made if this is made permanent.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like I said, anytime there's a need, the standards will change based on the needs, right? So it's whether we consider this raising or lowering the bar, it doesn't really matter.
Do tell.
The army is going to get what the army needs. You know what I mean? Like that's why the army goes rolling along. So
that's so interesting, man. And I mean, this is so cool. I can't wait to hear like some of my friends who have like maybe like a small foot problem or a small hand problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna, Cardenas. Dude, I'm a fucking GWAT baby with Cardenas here, and like we went to basic training with
felons,
straight freaking like criminals, like straight criminals. Like,
and how did they adapt?
Most of them did well, but there were some shitheads, and that was my entire career. I mean, that's just
There's always going to be the shitheads,
and some of the fucking shitheads slip through the cracks and end up making rank, and so like there's those ones too. So it is what it is. But for the most part, I'd say most people did pretty well for the most part. Like people weren't out there to be buddy fuckers. You know what I mean? We wanted to do our work during the day, go home at night. You know what I mean? Chill. He's not wrong.
No, I believe it. And you know what's so interesting about that is that it really goes to show, like, I mean, in all aspects, from prison to a civilian life or even the military life, it works. It does help. You have, if you have a specific perspective and mentality of life that doesn't fit according to a civilian life, check out the military.
I mean, it's done wonders for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
How does a recruiter say, hey, you want to go kill fucking enemies for free and get paid for it?
I mean, in theory, you could. I mean, that might not be the most tactful way of putting it, but in theory.
From SA to Master Chief.
I'm going to look that up right now. Hang on.
But yeah, that's like it was kind of fun being in the middle and the height of like GWAT era, because like there was definitely some fucking characters in the ranks.
It's SA to Master Jefe is the actual name of the book. It's by Raul R. Ramos. And it's from street gang life in South Central Los Angeles to U.S. Navy Master Chief.
Dope. I need to read that shit.
Let me see. Recruiters would kick applicants to the government. They would say, I would do my magic. You're the waiver king, Jam and Jet. He was from MS-13. Dude, you want to know something? I grew up in a town that was like full. Like the whole town was MS-13. Very interesting. And this, I wonder if they'll ever make a movie out of this. I'm gonna check this out. He brings you Raul Ramos brings you his emotional, raw, and inspiring autobiography. Follow along in his uplifting journey from street gang life in South Central Los Angeles to earning the rank of Master Chief in the United States Navy. His one-of-a-kind story is certain to motivate and remind you that you control your destiny no matter what hand you were dealt.
Nice. Fucking A. Thank you, Cardenas. That's a good one. I think I might have to look into that. Check that one out. So, yeah.
See, I had a bitch problem when I was younger. I wimped out, now signed the paperwork, and Sergeant Ruff was pissed at me. When I was younger, I wimped out, now signed the paperwork. You know, they always want you to sign the paperwork, but they never want to give you information before they do. That's the funny part about the military.
Right.
Kind of going into correlation of what we were talking about. The Marine Corps has brought in more than 101% of its recruiting target for the year to date, up from 100% from this time in 2023. The Navy is expecting to fall short for a second consecutive year. But this is according to military officials who testified before the Defense Advisory Committee on Women in the Services during the committee's quarterly meeting on June 25th in Arlington, Virginia. The Air Force and Army, which have struggled in the past 2 years to meet recruiting goals, have indicated they are on track to make a mission. But the Marine Corps has already brought in 12, almost 30.
Dude. John? Marine Corps.
Sorry. The Marines already have brought in 12,924 contracts above its year-to-date goal of 12,751. According to the documents presented by Sergeant Alan Goodyear, the senior enlisted advisor for the Marines Recruiting Command. Yeah, I skipped the word.
It sounds to me like most of the branches are starting to make their goals, and I think a lot of it has to do with like the standard of living out here in the world. It's like people like you kind of live okay in the military. You know what I mean? It might not be the best, but it sure shit ain't the worst. You know what I mean? And that's like kind of I don't know, like if you stay in long enough and you make enough rank, like you'll be doing all right. So I think maybe some people are starting to realize that. So
yeah,
it won't surprise me if they, you know, if everybody makes their goals this year. It won't surprise me.
Good. That's a positive outlook coming from Jay.
Well,
very, very positive.
I think in these interesting times that we live in, you normally see more of a push towards service with corresponding generations, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably just a wave of it. A wave of it is probably coming here in the next couple of years. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's also this thing going on with the Pentagon shutting down Gaza Pier. You hear? Are you? I think that's breaking. You know anything about that?
Yeah, they tried to reinstall it basically, and it failed, or like they just mission incomplete basically, and they're kind of just done. They're like they're pulling out. So like that, there are other ways to get food into Gaza. Mm-hmm. So that's not the only one. That was just something that the U.S. military had a hand in, basically.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, so that's a fail.
Yeah, mission incomplete. Yep.
And now, what was this for? This was to get aid into Gaza.
It was like a floating, or like a floating pier, basically.
Okay.
To offload supplies, basically.
So now with this failing, no supplies can come in.
No. There's still other ways to get supplies in there. That's not
okay.
That is not it. That's just it won't be like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. So. Let me see. Military leaks going on Discord. Yeah, that's been a problem lately. Yeah. War Thunder. We all know the shit going on with War Thunder. How people are constantly leaking shit. What are your thoughts on military leaks going on Discord, Jay?
Dude, OPSEC. What in the fuck, dude? Son of a bitch. Like, go ahead, Joe.
That fucking War Thunder server has had more fucking leaks than my fucking John boat that I had for 30 years. The family's John boat. At one point, it's just that Discord server just needs to be fucking shut down.
And did you hear that just like maybe 2 weeks ago they put up they put up a promotion for their game, right? And in the background of the picture was the disaster of the Challenger.
I don't no mas. Fucking Discord. Fucking Discord, dude.
Yeah, that's why Jay barely uses it.
Yeah. It's not that I feel personally like unsafe there. It's just
you know
what I mean? It's just not my bag. And then you got like the squealers who like to put all the fucking business out there on these servers. You know what I mean? And that's what you get. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, so I have here that there was a National Guard member named Tax Tejera who sent 40,000 messages on an online chat platform which contained classified national security secrets. 40,000 messages. 22 years old, a 22-year-old.
He's gonna be in jail for a while too, probably.
Yeah, he was arrested in 2023. He had been studying Discord and its users for 3 years and had created an online consortium of other academic researchers who were doing the same. And yeah, he was putting shit out there. He was letting out secrets, military secrets.
Fucking boo. Boo.
And it's funny here because Discord says Discord is about giving people the power to create a space to find belonging in their lives.
Okay. What?
Sounds like Clinton. Now, here comes the last story that I have for the day.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's I think you're gonna like this one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Officials have arrested a New York Army National Guard military police officer, a supply specialist, and a civilian employee with the Air National Guard for allegedly helping steal tens of thousands of dollars worth of military-grade equipment from the New York military units that was later sold to the general public.
Holy shit.
The New York State. So the picture that's here, there is a modified AR-15 with a long scope. Vests, helmets, radios, nods.
Goddamn, dude.
Yeah, so it says here that Gordon Reynolds, who was assigned to the 202nd Military Police Detachment in New York, was accused of participating in a scheme to pilfer and then profit off the gear. The unit supply specialist assigned to Company D and a civilian employee at the 174th were also arrested for alleged connection with the plot. They said that they recovered thousands of dollars of equipment from Texas, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Florida, and New York. An image shared in the statement depicts radios and other equipment retrieved by the law enforcement, along with 2 rifles. In one instance, investigators recovered a ballistic vest that was being reshipped to Russia.
God damn, dude. Like,
okay, and I mean this
why we have jails. This is why we have
just happened earlier in a scrapyard near Fort Drum too. About brass casings. Did you hear about that a while back?
I have an idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. You know the brass.
People start pilfering basically. Like that's exactly what it is. That's
So
somebody always wants to get greedy, don't they, John?
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's interesting too because we had a guy in my unit when I was in Fort Benning. He lost his helmet,
ACH,
yeah, his ACH. Excuse me, and they charged him a couple thousand just for that. You know,
that's possible, depending.
You know,
that's possible.
And this is a big thing. Just don't steal the shit, but like. That stuff is one, dangerous. Nods especially have radiation. Don't they have radiation? Like you're not supposed to go on planes with them.
Radiation, but they're they're military grade. It's military grade hardware. Like what do you need nods for? Like there's only one reason why, unless you're doing some kind of like night hunting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like there's only a couple reasons why you would need nods.
I know. And Squillini's turning around and I'm about to go to my cabinet and close my glass door.
That's the best part. If you have nods, the understanding would be you probably have like a PEC 15 or something too. So like, because then you can see lasers in the dark, basically, right?
Me and Squillini are just like this because I know he has one and he knows I have one.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
The one you have, the one that came with fucking Call of Duty, though, don't you?
Yeah, but it was good. Yeah, it's a nice. It's
not
a
real
decent
nods.
One. It's the newer one, not the old one.
It's not real nods.
It's pretty good. It works. It gives me the fucking night vision I need.
That's all you need.
I don't need it to do much. I really don't need it to do much. I just need to see at night.
Fair. That's fair.
I'm not over here.
I mean, just like I also don't need a thermal scope on my fucking rifle, but you know what I have on my rifle? A fucking thermal scope.
Yeah.
I think that's debatable, all right? I think
the difference between Nogs and a fucking thermal scope is I can go to any gun store and buy a thermal scope.
Yeah,
Can't go to any gun store and buy Nogs.
Yeah, but you know, but you're also oh shit, I lost my thought. You know, but you're also using the scope, though. You're physically using the scope more than you would probably use the nods, depending on the situation that you're in.
Depending, yeah, that's basically why you would have nods. If you're conducting movement at night after dark for extended periods of time, that's what nods are for. So like when it's too dark and you can't see.
You have a real good point there, Cardenas.
Okay, so is he talking about like when like the side of it goes black or something, dude, and you can barely see the fucking shit?
There were a lot of what I would call like there's issues with some of the equipment, and sometimes there's issues with the people using it, right? But
yeah,
there are nights, and I can think of many field exercises over the years. I just said fuck it and flip my nods up because I could see goddamn better without them. You know what I mean?
Your eyes get adjusted. Your eyes they adjust.
Yeah, basically. I mean, functionally, and it's still dark as shit. It's fucking rainy and windy and fucking cold and fuck the world right now. You know what I mean? Like it's you know zero dark. Fuck you in the morning. You know what I mean? Like. Goddamn, like, and your fucking and your nods and your fucking NVGs aren't even fucking doing anything for you. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what? Fuck it all. Just flip them bitches up, dude. And just fucking carry on. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. Anywho, yep.
Oh shit.
A lot of shit is hard to see under nods. A lot of shit is hard to see, and you have to be careful. Like that was like my little Fort Carson era. Like all the goddamn field exercises we did out there, out behind Fort Carson, fucking like that shit. Like and especially like under night vision, it's a totally different place under night vision.
Yeah, I used to like doing the nighttime training.
Sure.
Those are pretty fun to see. You know, to kind of learn how the nods worked and stuff like that.
A lot of them are fun. A lot of them, you do see some cool shit, right?
You know, I think like for me, that was like my first time like doing the whole like walk with the weapon down, look up, shoot, tracer. And I'm just like, whoa, this is cool. I remember like doing it the first time. I'm just like, holy shit, I'm a fucking badass, you know? And then like looking over to the left and right and seeing like all the like everybody else training with me, like, yo, like we're training to win. We're training to win.
That's correct. That's soldiering. That's exactly how the fuck it's supposed to be.
I feel like training was so much fun though.
I enjoy I can think of many times I had what you would call like a good time during training, right?
Yeah.
And like it's not like I hated going to the field because in reality, like that's part of the job is the training that you do to for whatever your MOS is, like we train to fight and we fight to win, right? So there were a lot of exercises I remember doing where like I was like you said, John, like holy shit, that's fucking cool. You know what I mean? There was one time we did a joint live fire. So it was freaking
the Green Monsters.
It was we were doing a joint live fire. So we had infantry, like us infantry on the ground, freaking with artillery going over, being shot over our head in front of us. And then after we freaking hit our objective, we started pulling back, and an Apache gunship came down and fucking finished the job with their goddamn Hellfires and fucking was it 20? What does the Apache have, Joe? Is it 20 millimeter or 30 millimeter? Whatever. They're fucking like that shit. Like, and like seeing that shit live, John, like with live rounds, that shit was like, holy fuck, that was cool. You know what I mean?
That shit's got to be cool.
Oh, dude, I don't think my erection's gone away since. You know what I mean?
What this?
Like, yep. Yeah. Fucking Fort goddamn Leonard Wood. Yes. It gets dark.
It's 30 millimeter.
30 Mike. Okay.
Yep. And I can contest to that also, Cardenas.
Yeah, it's dark as shit in fucking Mark Twain National Forest, dude, is dark as fuck, bros. Like, take a battle buddy with you if you fucking camp down there. Take a battle buddy.
Bring some nods.
Yeah, bring some fucking nods. They're probably not gonna help though.
Yeah. All right, so I'm trying to see if we got any breaking news before we. They're
probably still crying about yesterday. Almost guaranteed.
Yep. That's. I mean, everything on military.com is everything about this.
It can't really be understated. It is a big fucking deal. It is a big fucking deal. You know what I mean? Like we can't exactly fucking ignore that particular elephant in the room. You know what I mean? Like we said earlier, we don't usually do political songs and dances on this show, but it's kind of a big deal when somebody tries to off the former president.
This is a historical moment in time,
basically. And so we're, we would be it would be intellectually dishonest of us if we didn't talk about it a little bit, right? So,
I mean, it almost be like, it just happened yesterday. We're veterans. We talk about veteran shit all the time, but we also talk about one of the biggest things, between the three of us is that we all enjoy history.
Correct.
That's correct. We all enjoy, American history, old and new. And this is something that's going to be marked in a history book,
Yeah.
He's right.
I want off the ride. That's correct. Yeah, political violence has no place in a polite society. I think you came in a little late, Cardenas. We were on it a little bit earlier, but yeah, it's freaking. It is. It's exactly. It's an attack on democracy. It's an attack on our institutions that we hold so dear. We don't advocate, for or otherwise wishing physical harm on the people we don't like. That's not what we do in a polite society. So this is not how to get any messages across to anyone. It's not, anywho.
Yeah. There's still many concerning things about this. I just, it's a shame that someone lost their life over this because of someone's stupidity.
Yeah.
And
100%.
It's insane, man. Again, we can't do this to candidates. It doesn't matter who you are, Yep. You here in America, you still have a right to be who you are.
Correct. And that was and remains a former president. He is a former president. So regardless of how anybody feels this or that way about the guy, he is a former president. There is something to be said. There is something to be said about that particular institution as well. So like the man deserves a little bit more than somebody taking pot shots at him. Okay. That is not how we solve problems in the United States of America, for the love of God. You know what I mean?
And now he's got a mark on his ear for the rest of his life because of it. Something that will remind him every time he looks in that mirror and he looks at that ear. You know,
I still got to hand it to the guy. He got up fucking going hard, dude. Like I was like, can respect it. I can respect that.
You know, if I was a kid, if I was like a child, you know, so oblivious to everything that's going on in the world, right? Just a pure child, not even, and I was watching TV and I saw that, I would have been like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
It's more Cardenas, it's more Holyfield than Tyson, because you got to think Tyson took Holyfield's top ear.
Yeah. But that's freaking. Hey man, it's things that make you go Things that make you go I'll tell you what, dude. We live in interesting times, boys. We live in interesting times.
We really do. This is a GTA timeline if it's not one. But guys,
I'm telling you.
Do you know what time it is? Do you guys have any final thoughts before we get to the final thought?
No, I just want to wish everybody a good, a happy week ahead, and do the as always, just a reminder to do the things that you need to do for yourself. So we can't take care of other people sometimes if we're not taking care of ourselves. So kind of like a reminder for the self check, the self evaluation. Maybe this week upcoming, like. Give yourself a day or two and freaking give yourself a good once over and check up on yourself. So that's all I got.
Love it. Squillini.
I've got nothing this week.
All right. Well, guys, you already know what time it is. All right. One, it's hot as fuck. Okay. It is hot as fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys.
Tempers are getting short.
Yeah, and a lot of you guys are home alone. A lot of you guys are staying home. A lot of you guys are refusing to even leave the house. Very understandable. But don't be alone too long, because when you're alone too long, there may be an instance where you may be sitting in your head. I've been watching a lot of The Boys, and there's a character going through this mental crisis right now, and it's super interesting. You know, even talking about certain things in pop culture, these little subtle messages of mental health are out there to kind of let you know, like, kind of make you think, like, am I going through this too? Is this something that I need to check on myself? You know? And it really makes you want to do better for yourself. You know, you start questioning, well, why do I feel this way? And you start misunderstanding how you're feeling or how you're making others feel. And, you know, every day is a learning process. Every day is a I mean, the world is changing and people want us to adapt to it. And then others are sitting here saying that you're not going to put your finger in my chest. But I'm just saying that both sides are okay. Don't beat yourself up over your own beliefs. You are your own person. Okay. Just because someone doesn't agree with you or someone doesn't feel the same way, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Right. You know, and sometimes these things really kills somebody, you know, it really digs deep.
When we get emotional, sometimes we don't realize, like you said, always how or what we're feeling and how we're making other people feel when we get emotional. And like when that shit pops off quick, it like you can do a lot of damage like really quick without even realizing what happened or possibly even remembering that it happened. And what might seem very flippant or offhanded can become a burden and like a stumbling block to relationships that we have with people in our lives.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why we do a self-evaluation, you know, every once in a while. You know what I mean?
I always ask a few people too, if this was your last day on earth, how do you think you're going to be remembered? And what are you going to do for the rest of the day to change that if you wanted to change it? You know? And that's the thing. You can't change it in a day.
It's not a bad question to ask every once in a while.
You know? It's not. So, guys, if you are feeling alone, down and out, if you're in your head, if you are in your world, don't be afraid to pick up the phone You could call any of us, family, friend, stranger in the park, or you could call the National Suicide Hotline. You could text or call 988 or dial 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-TALK. It is absolutely important that you guys keep yourself mentally healthy, because when you are mentally healthy, you will be physically healthy. And then after that, the world is yours. The world is fucking yours. So guys, again, 988 or dial 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-TALK. This is, guys, we do it every week, and we're going to do it every fucking week for the rest of our lives.
Correct.
Okay, you could count that fucking blessing on a Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. So Jet, hey, everybody, thank you for coming by. Jet, keep kicking ass at the YMCA.
Hell yeah. Like,
keep kicking ass. I mean, it's guys like you that are making the world turn.
Yep.
That's right. Treat yourself.
Everybody that joined us today, like, we really appreciate it. Cardenas, just all from the dungeon, Jam and Jet, all y'all, like, we really appreciate it. It's fun. It's a lot more fun when we have a little bit of a live audience. So
yeah, when we get to talk,
having you guys. We absolutely enjoy having you guys. So thank you very much.
And guys, you know where to find us in 168 hours. Squillini, Jay, I love you guys as always. Guys, we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.